Newport or Costa Mesa? Hands down. Biggest question.
She's right. And who better to ask that question to than two Orange County natives? And in this video, we're gonna break it down to you all the great things about both Costa Mesa and Newport so you can get a better idea of where you see yourself moving to.
Let's start with lifestyle. Costa Mesa has a very cool, artsy, trendy vibe. You have the Seeger Swim Center for the arts. You have the camp, the anti-mall at the lab, and of course, South Coast Plaza. So if you're looking for a very fun vibe, I would say Costa Mesa is your spot.
Newport Beach isn't as eclectic, but it feels like a vacation year-round. Pretty much no matter where you drive in Newport, you will see the harbor or the ocean. Our streets are lined with palm trees. We have really a vacation vibe, so it's no surprise that people come from all around the world to visit us here. This summer, it is jam-packed because of the surfing, our boating lifestyle. We have a world-renowned harbor. We have the fanciest boats come from all over the world to come and spend time in Newport Beach in the summer. You can jump on your boat and go over to Catalina Island for the weekend, which is always really fun. And what's also great about Newport lifestyle is we have pretty much everything that LA has to offer. We don't really need to go up there anymore. We have the airport, we have South Coast Plaza, well, I guess that's Costa Mesa, but we have Fashion Island, Lido Marina Village, we have all the boutiques, and then we also have the large chain restaurants, plus also the locally owned restaurants. Yet you can work here and raise a family.
Costa Mesa is definitely more local, I would say. We don't have, I mean, we have South Coast Plaza, that's a lot of the chains, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff is like small businesses.
Right.
Because you have ABBA. ABBA is great. I love the little rooftop with all the eclectic, picture frames and decor. You can't come to Costa Mesa without visiting 17th Street. It just is the hub for almost everything Newport, Costa Mesa. We obviously love Common Thread. That's a great go-to for us. Salt and Lime for fun margaritas and tacos. I love in the summers the concerts in the park. My family visits those. They have 3 every summer and we are regulars there. I love the Snoopy house in Christmas where the City Hall has the whole front lawn decorated with the peanut gallery and there's snow and Santa. Those are favorites of ours.
I've never done that before.
Yes, and also the Fairview Park Railroad where the kids can go and also another chance to see Santa, sit on the train, go through Fairview Park, and that's also fully run by volunteers, made and run by volunteers, and it's been going on for years and years. It's a staple in Costa Mesa.
One of my favorite things about living in Newport is the walkability. You can just leave your house, it's super safe, and no matter where you walk, you can end up very quickly down by the beach or the bay. I love to take my morning walks to Balboa Island. It really makes me feel like I'm in a vacation destination with all the cute little shops and boutiques and Dad's Donuts, of course, for a Balboa bar. I love the Village Inn. That's always a fun place to go at Christmas. We will be going there for sure during the holidays. It's also really fun, especially when my kids were little. We would go to Balboa Island and walk the South Bayfront and look at all the boats, and you take this ferry over to the Newport Beach Peninsula where we have our fun zone, where you can ride the Ferris wheel, get corn dogs, play skee ball.
And the Ferris wheel.
I just said the Ferris
wheel. You said Ferris wheel.
Oh. The kids all do junior lifeguards, so they ride their bikes across the ferry and go down to the beach in the summers for the junior lifeguard program. We go paddleboarding all the time, and it's fun because you can just paddleboard up to all our various restaurants along the water. Well, you are talking to Miss Christmas herself. I just love Christmas and I've already planned out my December. Some of my favorite things to do during the month of December in Newport is Fashion Island does their tree lighting. It does get very, very crowded. Unfortunately, makes it a little bit more challenging, but it's still just fun to be there because they have lights and music and sometimes they do snow, and Fashion Island goes all out with all their Christmas decorating. We have the Newport Beach Boat Parade towards the end of December, which is so much fun. All the houses on Balboa Island, they do a competition with who does the best decorations. So Ever since I was a kid, we walk the South Bayfront. We always get Chinese first, then we get our hot chocolates, and we walk the South Bayfront and look at all the lights and then wait for the boat parade to go by.
We always get a pizza and sit waterside right at the Lido Bridge and watch the boats go by. It's just kind of our little tradition. Put our chairs up, eat our pizza, and watch the boats.
Well, and I know I'm only talking about Newport, but this year, Elf is coming to the Segerstrom Performing Arts Center, which is super fun. I saw The Grinch last year, but I think Elf is going to even be better.
You're talking to Miss Christmas, literally. She watches Home Alone while wrapping presents every night.
So when it comes to raising a family, you'd be hard-pressed to find a place that offers pretty much a slice of everything that you'd be looking for than Newport Beach. With kids, you want your kids outside. And in Newport Beach, you can be outside year-round. We have amazing sports programs. You know, of course, sports have gotten crazy everywhere, so we offer club programs for almost every single sport. You can play tennis, football, basketball. Sailing is super big in Newport Beach. Surfing, of course. Biking, mountain biking. You can pretty much do it all. Another great thing about raising a family in Newport are the schools. We have some of the top-rated schools in the country. It is a super safe place to live. I do feel very comfortable just letting my boys jump on their bikes and ride to the beach, especially now that they're certified junior lifeguards.
Another good thing about Costa Mesa is just being biking distance to Newport. Speaking of sports that Ann mentioned, in the spring, we have the Newport Mesa Soccer Classic, which is a soccer tournament for all of the Newport Mesa schools.
We get asked all the time, where should I buy a house? Newport or Costa Mesa? When it comes to real estate in Newport, there are many different areas and communities that you can live. It is a very small, tight-knit area. We have guard-gated communities. We have very family-friendly oriented communities with soccer fields and baseball fields and community pools. We have bayfront properties, we have oceanfront properties, and we have Newport Coast, which was built many years later after Newport Beach originally started. And Newport originally started as basically a vacation town. Lots of people up in Pasadena had beach houses down here, and so they would come here just on the weekends. And then as people started realizing that they could actually live in Newport Beach full time, it definitely became a very family-friendly place to live. And then eventually they expanded up to Newport Coast. Newport Coast, all the houses have more of like the same type of look. It's very cohesive. Whereas Newport Beach, it's all different types of architecture. You have beach cottages next to modern mansions, next to Eastern Seaboard, modern farmhouse. And so I really do love how all the communities, nothing really looks all the same.
Yeah, Costa Mesa is like that too.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of the neighborhoods are still the older ranch style homes. You are getting a lot of turnover in Mesa Verde and Mesa Del Mar, Eastside Costa Mesa especially. You're seeing more modern farmhouse, two-story homes. And then you have the Freedom Track homes, which is in Westside Costa Mesa, where you actually can have an ocean view. It overlooks Huntington Beach and the nature preserve over there.
I think though when it comes down to real estate with Newport and Costa Mesa, basically the biggest difference is pricing.
Yes.
Newport's median home sales price is definitely significantly higher than Costa Mesa, although parts of Costa Mesa, such as Eastside, which basically border on Newport Beach, they're catching up. And in some places at Eastside, it is even more expensive than Newport, depending on what street you're on.
Yeah, and everyone wants to live by the beach. So the closer you are to the water, typically the more expensive the real estate is.
It's pretty neat because I ask my boys now, like, hey, what if we just packed up and we just moved to like the mountains somewhere? And they just get deer in headlights. Like, no, Mom, there is no better place. We do not want to live anywhere else. They absolutely love it here. In fact, a good sign of where you live is when you're on vacation, you can't wait to get back home. And my kids are always so excited to come back as well.
Yes, same thing. If we ever talk about leaving, the first thing my kids bring up is what are they going to do without our neighbors? And they just love where we live. They love the street, especially that we live on, the kids that they go to school with. They've built such strong relationships with the kids at their school and the kids that we live with or around that I think it is a true testament to our community. And it also speaks to authentic, connected, and trusted because we live here, we grew up here, we are so part of the community. It's a big part of our business. So being authentic is being authentic to the community and knowing exactly what they're about, because that's what we're about, and connected because we know so many people that have businesses here, that were born and raised here, raised their family here. I am part of the community that their grandchildren live in, and so we are a part of that.
A great thing about buying real estate is you can rest assured that once your kids go to college, most likely they're gonna definitely wanna come back and at least visit you all the time, if not wanna move back to Newport. And so you're probably gonna not have to worry about selling your house someday and moving to where they are, because chances are they're gonna try to do everything they can to get back here. And that personally happened to me. I mean, all my friends that I went to elementary school with, they've moved back here. They're the godparents of my kids. My first houses that I ever sold were to the two friends I made since preschool, and now we're raising our kids together. And so it's just a good place to buy real estate because the value holds, because people still want to move here all the time, and it's becoming more and more popular. We hope we answered all your questions about Newport and Costa Mesa. If you are looking to move here or you have any more questions, look at our link below and give us a call, text, or email us.
And subscribe.